Sponsored by Gillette, the best a man can get.
Where are we? Are we at the club?
Welcome back to First Things First. NBA champ Steven Jackson joins the show, and happy to be here.
Jack wearing his President Obama suit. I like it. Good to see you,
There's
sir.
a spring theme on this set. It's very nice to see.
Everybody's look looks nice.
Yes. You can bring us all down with my black. LeBron's
You
first
look lovely,
season,
Jenna.
thank you, in LA is almost over, and by everyone's account, it was not a successful one. So the goal right now, try to do better next year. The question right now, how are we going to do that? Kobe Bryant chimed in with some advice, saying you just got to keep pushing. Seasons like this are what makes championships worth it. All right, Steven, you think LeBron will ever win a title in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I mean, he has a chance to win a title as long as he's playing. I think he's still that good. I mean, Kobe giving him the best advice you can give him. You came out, you did what you could. Obviously, the team wasn't the team you wanted it to be going towards the playoffs. So just deal with it. It happens. A lot of players, a lot of top 5, top 10 players that had seasons where they didn't make the playoffs. So this is nothing. They know they're going to build this team. They know they're going to bring some players in. Do what you've been doing, LeBron. Have great off seasons. Work your butt off in the summer and be ready for next year.
In your opinion, aside from obviously stay healthy, what's the biggest thing LeBron should do, if you were giving him advice, differently next year?
Nothing. This man spends millions of dollars on his body every year. Is nobody in greater shape now? He had a little injury this year, but that's Father Time. This guy's been in the finals, what, 7 straight years? 8 straight years? So it happens, you know, it happens.
It was also a fluke injury, too.
And it wasn't that serious, you know. It was more of holding him back for the playoff run. So, I mean, do the same thing you've been doing all these years, LeBron. You don't do nothing different. You're still great. You're going to be better next year.
If it was me, I'd give him some suggestions. And number one thing would be his body. I would try to get my weight down as low as possible. As you get older, your joints can't take the type of impact that it's. So for me, I know he spends a lot of money with this trainer. I would try to come down with an ideal different weight, because as you get older, you need to play with less weight compared to with more weight. Another thing, I would try to go back to working in the low post. We know your passing skills are great. We know your ball handling is great. But I would go back to working into the post, because that would be some way that I could rest on the offensive end, or it would provide another weapon. If I surround myself with all these shooters, LeBron in the low post is dangerous. And he's also, you can be a playmaker from the low post. And then the third thing to be able to finish out my career, he's got to be able to shoot free throws better, because in those critical games, it's going to come down to him being able to make free throws, drawing fouls, and getting to that free throw line. So even LeBron James, one of the greatest basketball players ever, there's 3 things you need to do immediately. Now, it might be 5 pounds. It might be a couple % of body weight. But as you get older, your body cannot take it. If you look at the greatest players that have ever played, what did they do late in the game? Kobe was different in his 5th championship. Tim Duncan was different. Not only the style of game, but his body weight was different for that 5th championship he got. Karl Malone, as he got older, he didn't get bigger. Man, he stayed in shape, because Karl Malone could run. Man, he ran that court. That's one thing that that's what robbed Shaq of some.
He went the other way with it. Shaq got bigger instead of small.
I just have not seen players, all right, and regardless of what sport they play in, as they get older, you have to look that my ideal weight is not my ideal weight anymore. I'm 34, 35, 36. I need to be able to get down to something where I could function. That was something that really helped me, my training staff. We got down to 211 pounds when I had been in the league 16 years. All right, and that was the
idea. Was down from where, C?
It was down from 215.
Okay, so...
You know, and I had played as high as 218. But at that point, it was time to drop down. And, man, I hadn't been that low since my first few years in the league. So your weight, the same way your first 5 years in the league, your weight's going to be totally different than in your prime of your career. But at the back end, man, help your body out, help your joints out.
The free throw part, that's guaranteed. I mean, you shouldn't even have to say that. We consider him the best player in the league. You got to make free throws. I don't think at this point in his career you can get that. If you ain't got it in all those big games you done played in, I don't think that's gonna get better. I just think that's just him, folks. You can't practice on that. You got to just lock in at the free throw line.
Because he don't have a good routine. He's not comfortable at the free throw line.
It's too late to change it now, though.
Well, we're in the end of it. How you get better, man? Everyone's trying. Either you're getting better or you're getting worse.
Right.
So if he doesn't do that, and I believe that would be I don't think LeBron is that way. When LeBron looks at his game, if you look at the weakest part of his game right now, is free throw shooting. So what good does it do to draw all these fouls and go to the hole if I'm not going to be able to knock it down?
No question.
I watched Joel Embiid last night.
Knock him down.
7-21.
7-2.
Yeah.
Knocked down 20 in a row.
Yep. But we're in the league now where you got shooting forwards getting hack a shack. Roberson and OKC, they was hack and shack. So it's a different league now.
Right.
The other aspect of this is things that are not in his control as far as will he win a title. You guys talked about things he can control, his body weight, working on his free throws, things such as that. I thought you might mention different ways to approach the young players, but I guess we don't even know if those young players will be on the team if they make the trade for Anthony Davis.
That window's passed to do that.
What? Oh,
to help, that window's
that's
passed.
gone.
To help the young guys, that's passed.
So, listen, you're pals with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant thinks I always talk negative about him. Gave Chris and Jenna the stink eye at the Knicks game because I talk negative about him. I'm going to say something very nice about Kevin Durant here. Kevin Durant
Don't hurt yourself.
Kevin Durant right now has as much power over the league as any player has ever had going into an offseason. And if he stays in Golden State, then this question might be a moot point. If he stays in Golden State, LeBron plus Anthony Davis, I don't think that's enough. You would need to hit a grand slam home run this offseason. Kyrie and Anthony Davis, and then maybe you can be the second favorite to win the title. But if KD leaves and comes here, we got 10 teams that go into next year thinking we can win the title.
Right.
The Vegas odds will be as stacked as they have been since the NBA, Jordan's first year of retirement, when there was 8-9 teams that legitimately felt they could win a championship. And it would get back to the era of basketball when you first came in, where to be a title contender, you needed 2 great players and a good supporting cast. Like, that's what KD has the power to influence if he makes the move to New York City.
I agree, but we talk about LeBron. I ain't really worried about KD. LeBron, for the most part, don't, like you say, okay, free throws, that's one thing. You can work on your game. But as far as the way he approaches every season, I don't think anybody does it better. You know, he locks in the summertime, he come back. Like, if they would have made that trade, we wouldn't be talking about none of this stuff.
No, I would still be talking about it, because you'd be like, hey, man, what can LeBron do down the stretch? I'd be like, man, I'm concerned about his weight. I'm concerned about the amount of force on his joints. Oh, he's never been injured. Okay. Well, everyone's going to get injured at one point.
And and see, to that point,
the free throw shooting, I've been on that forever, man, because I'm an MJ guy. And this game boils down to, at the end, I'm going to draw me a foul, and I'm going to go to the free throw line. It's the simplest form of basketball, how I'm going to win. And they call them free for a reason. If you're a 7-footer, you got ginormous hands, I'm willing to make some concessions for you. But man, when you're 6'8", and your viability, we talking about who's the greatest player in the world, and one guy shoots 80%, one guy shoots 70%, stop, man. Stop. Like, that's a real thing.
Just real quick on your weight point, it's something LeBron's done in his career as far as depending on the type of style he wants to play. We saw going into year 2 in Miami, when he was going to make the commitment to go into the low post, he came in bigger than any point in his career. We saw him his first year back in Cleveland. He slimmed down a lot. So he has shown the ability to change weights. And if you're right that he needs to get back to around the weight when he came into the league.
Well, let's just say this. We saw him get hurt at this weight. Right. All right. Well, let's just say, well, what's the right weight? This weight, or get heavier, or lose weight, what Chris said?
Definitely not get heavier.
Oh, okay, then. Well, let's just use some common sense. As you start to get older, your body cannot take the impact on your joints. He is human, just like everyone else. Look at any cross sport. Look at the elite of the elite, and look at them and see what size they are, what weight they're at. Tom Brady, what weight y'all think he's at right now in physical shape he's in? He's a lot lighter than he ever was. Well, he's younger too. He's got a fountain of youth going there. But this is what has happened in all sports. LeBron James, and just like I tell kids, like, Coach, what do I need to do to get better? And I say, are you going to listen to me? He said, yes. Well, I would never tell you to do something that you couldn't do. LeBron James can do this. That's why I would say that, because he has done it. When in Miami, he went to riding his bike. He got leaner. There are other times where he bulked up because of the style. He is capable of doing it. If he wants to be the greatest player ever, he's going to have to win another championship, and he's going to have to come up with a different style to be able to finish off his career.
All right, Steven, see you a little bit later on in the show. Coming up, could Le'Veon Bell's best football still be
Next
ahead of
show
him?
you can say that. You don't have to give me
Next,
credit.
I let you go, but you're still wrong. I let you go. I mean, you're right. I let you go.
We're Grant Thornton.
By everyone's account, it was not a success. The goal now, do better next year. The question now, how? Kobe Bryant chimed in with some advice, saying you just got to keep pushing. Seasons like this are what make the championships worth it. Nick, will LeBron ever win a title in LA?
If Kevin Durant leaves the Warriors, I think the answer is yes.
Ooh.
And that makes Kevin